Hello, magic casters of all shapes and sizes. My name is Chance. Welcome to my spellbook, and thank you so much for tuning into the 28th episode of our first level spell series. Today, we're going to be taking a look at just a fantastic spell for changing the flow of battle and controlling kind of what happens. Today we're going to be taking a look at Fog Cloud. This is probably one of the best control spells you take at early levels, and I'll kind of get into why that is a little bit later. Fog Cloud is usable by the Druid, Ranger, Sorcerer, and Wizard, and it is found in the good old Player's Handbook. With that hyped up intro out of the way, let's take a look at the mechanics and kind of get the gist of how this works. Your cast time is one action, which is super great. The range is an unbelievably good 120 feet, and it forms a 20-foot radius sphere, so really good. The duration is 1 hour, and it is a concentration spell, so please bear that in mind. And the effect at a glance is as followed. Make a 20-foot radius of fog within range. It can spread around corners and counts as heavily obscured. It can be dispersed prematurely by winds of at least 10 miles per hour. So pretty cool. At higher levels, the radius of fog increases by 20 feet for each spell slot level above first. The components are somatic and verbal, meaning you have to gesture with one hand and speak forth an incantation. And the school, unsurprisingly, is Conjuration. With that overview out of the way, let's take a look at the full description here. It reads as followed. You create a 20-foot radius sphere of fog centered on a point within range. The sphere spreads around corners and is heavily obscured. It lasts for the duration or until a wind of moderate or greater speed, at least 10 miles per hour, disperses it. At higher levels, when you cast a spell using a spell slot of second level or higher, the radius of the fog increases by 20 foot for each level above first. Really cool stuff here. Thematically just great. Oh man, it's basically this is a smoke bomb if you haven't put that together already. So 20 feet on each side of you as well as 20 feet up, or of the area rather. It might be worth noting that in terms of how 5e looks at heavily obscured, it's assumed that it blocks your vision entirely and you're essentially affected by the blind condition. So anyone in there, including you, automatically fails any ability check that requires sight. And attack rolls against have advantage, and attack rolls from whoever's in there have disadvantage. So pretty interesting stuff. I honestly really like this one. I can see tons of classes getting benefits from this. In any case, let's take a look at some alternative uses and kind of probe a little bit deeper into different ways you could use this spell. So the first one that really comes to mind for me personally is using it to get out of dodge. Centering it on yourself or on a particular creature that's chasing you, and then using that confusion as an opportunity to flee or hide. Outside of that, no, this is one that I really like from a thematic standpoint as well as a mechanical one. Imagine, if you will, there's a group of guards or enemies or monsters or anything of that nature, and you really don't want them to move away from that position. So you could use Fog Cloud in conjunction with something like Prestidigitation, Minor Illusion, things of that nature. Make them hear kind of voices echo around them, make them get real scared and bundled up into a tight little area, right? And then you hit them with some AoE like Fireball. I think that would be great. I would make the argument that they automatically fail the ability check because in more ways than not, it does rely on sight. And then outside of that, I mean, just fantastic. You could essentially wipe out a whole group of people in one shot, which is really good, and the range of this is incredible, and so is the area affected. In any case, if you have any alternative uses for Fog Cloud, any cool stories involving it, any build ideas, any thoughts, opinions, or questions, please take them down beneath in the comments section. I really like reading them and responding to you guys. We got a couple really great relationships here, and I'm looking forward to just maintaining those throughout this series. In any case, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Have a great day, and as always, happy casting.